Hey everybody, we're at the St. Pete Urban Youth Farm, and I'm with Carla here, and we're going to do the shred grind granulate solution, which makes a typical garbage disposal into a compost companion. We've been doing this for about 16 years around the world. This is the first time in the United States outside of our particular education facilities, and bless you for implementing it. And now what we found is Insinkerator's evolved with the times since I was their strategic planning speaker in London talking about their composting companion. It really, to be a composting companion, it needs to be really easy to install one of these. And they've made it ever easier with this Evolution 1300, which I think costs about, what, 275
Yep,
bucks?
so basically $300, you're there.
Yeah, and it's got this special easy connector. So unlike in the old days when you had to use these, you had to be an electrician or know what you're doing. Here you just pop this thing on and plug it in. Make sure it's as easy as I think it is. Should come on. Okay. I may have spoken too. There we go. There we go.
Yep, and your line
Yep,
right here.
there are lines.
So, and this does not come with in the
Correct.
box, so you do have to purchase that separately. And we're saying, as easy as this was, I would do that instead of
Right.
having to deal with the electrical connection.
Because it does come with the adapter and a plate so that you could use the typical wires that come with the other kit where you have locking nuts and you twist lock your wires together. So you could always just use the regular wiring with it, that comes with it, but if you buy the extra quick connect, then you're in really good shape for that. And then the first thing I like to do is always test it to make sure that it's not defective in any way before we go and do anything else. So note that when you plug it in, it's going to have a kick as the inductive motor starts to spin. So whether you're using it in that bucket we talked about, or it's on a table, you always want to hold it so it doesn't, that kick in there. So it's working?
As quiet as a baby.
Quiet as a baby. Now, another thing that we got that we recommend for these garden projects is that you get an air switch. And where did our air switch go? Let's see if we can find the... There's the air switch. Okay. So the air switch is important, especially if you're doing outdoor gardening, if you're using the Insinkerator as a compost companion, because it doesn't mean that you've got to keep plugging it in and expose yourself in inclement weather to the possibility of electrical shock. So what this is just a little switch that blows air. And it hooks up to an aquarium tube, basically, which is coming right with it. And it just plugs in here, like so. Now, it's best if you put with this locking nut here, if you put this in the sink and mount it. Otherwise, it'll have the same thing happen here as happened to me, where people keep using it and then they eventually break it or lose it. It needs to be mounted, so at some point we'll have to drill a hole for it. But the way that this basically works is that it blows air, which goes into this little air port for the switch. And then this gets plugged in to your extension cord, like so. Then the Insinkerator, you have to hold this in case this happens to be in the on position. It is not. Very good. Then when you have this, you want to turn it on, and I'll hold this again. Here we go. And you see how it has a kick to it? Watch what happens as we slow down for a second. See that?
Yeah.
That's why you got to hold on to it, and that'll happen in the bucket as well. But it's really handy to have this. That way you can even get kids, if you're out there doing stuff and you don't mount this, or if you get another one of these, you can have them say, okay, everybody ready? Okay, somebody hold the bucket, somebody, and let's start the grinding. And it just is so much fun for kids. They love to press buttons.
Press the button.
Or you can do this with kids, which is fun too. What? Oh, I usually have enough breath to do it. Kids who can blow out the birthday candles can do this. See?
Wow.
And then it's a great little dog and pony show.
Yeah. It's without the button.
Yeah, and as you teach a little bit of pneumatics, you teach kids about pressure, about their own bodies being a source of energy. Oh, sorry about that. So this, let's take off first.
Oh,
Yeah.
we don't need.
Yeah, so we're using a 89 millimeter, or that is 3.5 inch hole saw. We had a choice between a 92 mil and an 89. This would be best if we could tighten it.
Tighten.
This thing a little bit tighter with a wrench, but let's see if it.
So, yeah. Because
If I do it the right way, am I doing it the wrong way? Righty, tighty, lefty, loosey.
yeah.
Now, these things, I have a big scar here, and I have almost lost my thumb, so yeah, it's gonna come out.
So we probably should start the hole with the drill. So what I'll do is I'll drill.
Yeah,
this
start
hole
to drill the
first.
hole. And it's interesting because the more expensive mounts have grips that go down these holes here so it can never untwist.
Right.
This is the least expensive one that they sell with it. The only way to get this to really bite is if we had a wrench that we could use to
So super
tighten
tight.
it in.
I think now that the bit
Mhm.
is not,
Yeah.
everything that's touching, it will
It
actually
may
touch.
work. And be careful because these can skip off the plastic, and then as I say, you can cut your wrist open or cut off your thumb. I had to go to surgery for that. So I'm very careful with these hole saws. I would like to hold the bucket when you do it because the bucket will spin like crazy and then throw you off. And the procedure is to do it gently, just score it, nice and slow. And then pull it back a little bit as you get up to speed, but don't jam it down. Nice light touch and let it score its way through the plastic nice and slowly. Okay? So nice and slow. I would keep it going, but it